Okay, boys and girls, we're going to go ahead and answer our Mystery at Dad's Office questions. Question 11 says, which word from paragraph 17 best helps the reader understand the meaning of the word assured? So, when we go back and look at paragraph 17, we said that our context clue for assured was promise. So, a way that we can check it is to substitute assured with the context clue and see if it still makes sense. So let's check. Come on, boys, it will be fine. Dad promised them. And that does make sense. It doesn't change the meaning. Come on, boys, it'll be fine. Dad returned them. Doesn't make sense. Dad looked them. Dad led them. Led makes it would be a complete sentence if we had it there, but it would change the meaning. So we're going to stick with promise. But the most important part is that you go back and read and plug in your answer choices with those vocabulary questions. When Alex first tells Nathan that someone is watching them, Nathan does what? Okay, so we're looking for the part of the story that Alex first tells Nathan. And then we're looking for what Nathan wants. So let's try to find... So Alex is the little brother. So when Alex first tells Nathan that someone is watching them, what does Nathan think about it? When in paragraph 6 it says, no one else is here, Alex, his brother scolded. Why are you whispering? And then Nathan sighed. His little brother could be a real pain, but he decided he would agree with Alex just to try to calm him. So Nathan doesn't believe him. So he's just going to take notes about what happened. So let's see if we can find an answer that'll go with that. Believes that Alex saw an office worker? No, he does not. He doesn't think he saw anyone. Wants Alex to find their father? No, because he wants to sit down and take notes about what happened to make him feel better. Thinks Alex is worrying for no reason? Probably. Wishes their father would try to calm Alex? No, because Dad's not in this part of the story. Okay, number 13. What identifies this story as realistic fiction? So this is a vocab question, so you have to know what realistic fiction is to answer this question. And we said that it's a fake story that could really happen. So the events that could take place could happen, yes. The author includes an illustration. Well, they could be in a fantasy fiction story, not just realistic fiction. The author asks a question at the end of the story. No. The characters are people who are well known. No, they are not. That would be more historical fiction. In paragraph 13, a nightlight offering comfort from a bad dream means that the light makes the boys feel. So let's go back and look and see what we put. The light from Dad's office was like a nightlight offering comfort from a bad dream, and we wrote makes them feel safer or better. So let's see. Upset? No. Safe? Maybe. Tired? No. Selfish? Definitely not. Nightlights make people feel safe, so that makes sense for this question. Number 15. Why is it so important to the story that Nathan and Alex go to the break room for gum? Okay, so this is a plot question. So it's asking, like, why do they have to be in the break room? And this is our plot coaster. So they are in the break room because the climax of the story, the most exciting part, is when they see a stranger. So if they hadn't been in the break room, they would have been with their dad. So it's kind of like the reason that they're on their own. The boys see something frightening in the hallway. Maybe. The boys are able to sit and talk to each other. No, that's not why it's important that they're in the break room, because they could do that in their dad's office too. The boys argue about what flavor they should select. I don't think that's why they went to the break room. The boys are able to let their father finish work in his office. So we're asking why it's important to the story. It's important to the story because that's where they see something frightening. D might be true, but that's not why the author includes it in the story. What is paragraph 18 mostly about? So we're definitely going to have to go back and look. Slowly, Alex leaned around the corner and looked, and then he leaned a little further. Finally, he stepped all the way back into the hallway. There, down the hall, was his own reflection looking back at him. It was almost as if his reflection were teasing him. It was bad enough to have an older brother who sometimes made fun of him. Now he could see himself doing the same thing. Okay, so this is the part of the story where they realize it was just his own reflection. Why Alex must lean so far into the hallway? How Alex's reflection reminds him of his brother? What Alex discovers in the hallway, or how Alex feels about his brother's teasing. It's about what he discovers in the hallway, which was his own reflection. Okay, we've got just 2 more questions. What is the best summary of the story? So that we're looking for our beginning, middle, and end. One Saturday evening, 2 brothers are at their father's office building. That's the beginning. The younger brother thinks he sees a stranger. Middle. He sits at the table and tells his brother what he looks like. Middle. Later, the brothers share the story with their father. End. The 3 of them go down the hallway to take a look. Okay, they're missing the part where they realize that it is the reflection. So it can't be this one. It doesn't mention that it was actually never a stranger. 2 brothers come to their father's office building and go to the break room to use the vending machine. Beginning. They become scared when they see a stranger in the hallway. Middle. That's the climax of our story. They run to their father and describe him to see what the stranger looks like. Well, now we're missing the end of our story, where they find out that it's just a reflection after all. So it can't be that one. 2 brothers go with their father to his office building. While in the hallway, the younger brother becomes scared when he thinks he sees a stranger. At first, the older brother does not believe the story, but he also becomes afraid. Dad helps them discover who the stranger really is. Maybe. It doesn't say the word reflection, but it does say Dad helps them discover who the stranger really is, which is what happens. So we'll see on that one. One Saturday, 2 brothers go to buy some gum in the break room near their father's office. When they see a stranger in the hallway, the older brother drops the gum on the floor. Once they're no longer afraid, the younger brother tells them which flavor of gum they'd like. That's kind of missing some important things in the story, so it is going to be C on that one. So just because it doesn't say the word reflection, it is talking about that part of the story when it says Dad helps them discover who the stranger is. It just doesn't say it in the words that I might have used when I wrote the summary myself. Number 18. Which sentence shows how the brothers feel when their father explains what they really saw in the hallway? So what did they really see? They saw their own reflection. So how did the boys feel about it? That we're looking for an answer choice that will show how they felt. The brothers tried to get through the doorway at the same time and ended up in a tangled heap on the floor. No, that's before Dad explains what they really saw in the hallway. Nathan and Alex started talking at the same time. That's also before. It was bad enough to have an older brother who sometimes made fun of him. I don't think so. But let's go ahead and read our last answer choice and see. Nathan's mouth formed a grin, and then Alex started to laugh. Okay, so we're grinning and we're laughing. So what are we feeling? We're feeling relieved or happy, or we just think something is really funny. So it is going to be J on that one. It shows feeling a little bit more straightforward. Okay, guys. Well, that's the last question for Mystery at Dad's office. Y'all go ahead and fill yours out and make any corrections that you need to if you need to go back. Have a good rest of your afternoon, and I'll talk to you